to hear more about you as a performer. As you mentioned, you went to school for the arts part of the theater community. What have you been up to even though it's been a challenging time for the theater community, but now as we're seeing things slowly changing for the better and we're getting more audiences in there, tell me what your past experience as a performer, like what have you done in the past, whether from dance, as you mentioned, or acting or musicals. Tell me about that side of you as an actor.
Sure, yeah. um, so I studied musical theater and dance in New Orleans at the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts.
All
It's a
right.
really cool institution. There's nothing really like it around in the South. Like people will come from like an hour, 2 hours away, to get the training that they have at this school. It's really, it's crazy, but it's such a good thing that it exists. And it's state funded, and
Can't complain with
studied
that.
there. What's up?
I was just saying, can't complain there.
Can't complain with that. Yeah. So I feel like I got a pretty solid education there. I moved on to Point Park University in Pittsburgh, where I studied dance. Did that for 4 years. And then after I moved here, I made a few contacts along the way, like getting here. That's kind of a whole different story. I like volunteered on organic farms for 8 months.
Volunteer on organic farms.
In 2016, like a couple different ones, and I was just sort of like bopping around the state in my like hoopty that was like definitely waiting to break down on me, and eventually did break down on me once I got to New York. Thank God.
Just in time.
Just in time. Yeah. So I met someone who would later get me like my first, or would lead me to the gig that I had for about 3 years when I got here. I danced with a company called Christina Noel and the Creature.
All right.
Part of the Creature for, like I said, 3 years. They're a dance company first, definitely. It's dance theater though, so I got to use my background in like acting and singing really, really heavily in that. It helped a lot in that company. We made everything, ourselves. Like we would make the work, whether that be the movement, the vocals. Like we made songs, we made jokes that we were like a dance company that was also a band.
Oh yes, I love nothing beats when you see like heavy, like by heavy I mean just like have a good amount of powerful band and you could just dance along to it. That's why I love like watching Super Bowl halftime shows and
Hell yeah.
And like what's the word I'm looking for? If you hear a number and everybody in the mob dances in it, like the mob of people.
Yeah.
I don't want to say mob rush, but because that's definitely not the word. But anyways, I just love seeing that. I just love seeing great choreography and a lot of music.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I was fortunate enough to work with them for 3 years, and I decided to take a break and try to develop some other physical skills. That's just sort of how I word it. But I was training in aerial silks. I was taking a couple classes at a pole studio, so I was like doing pole dancing.
Nice.
So I was like just entering those worlds, and then COVID hit.
The COVID moment.